You've done this before. That's what you tell yourself when the elevator doors open and the smell hits you. Antiseptic, stale air. Something underneath it. Something older. Something that doesn't belong in a hospital. Something that smells the way forgotten things smell. You've done this before. Night shift. Floor 7. The quiet floor. That's not what the hospital calls it. The hospital calls it the Extended Care Unit, 7th floor, North Wing. But the nurses who've worked here longer than 5 years, the ones with tired eyes, and the habit of looking over their shoulder before they speak, they call it the quiet floor. Don't explain why. When you're new, you think it's a joke, a hazing thing. You laugh. You stop laughing around month 3. Tonight, you're covering for Sandra. Sandra, who called in sick for the 3rd time this month. Sandra, who, the last time you saw her in the break room, was sitting very still, her coffee going cold in front of her, staring at the wall, with the expression of someone trying to remember what it felt like to be somewhere else. You'd asked if she was okay. She looked at you, really looked at you. And she smiled. In a way that didn't reach anything above her mouth. Just tired, she said. You get used to it. You move to the door, and then you stop. Because you could swear that when you stepped into the hallway and glanced back, the photograph on his bed rail was different, not the image. The same fishing trip, same proud smile, but in the new photograph, he was looking at the camera. And in the old one, the one you've passed a dozen times over 3 months of shifts, he wasn't. You stand there for a long moment. Then you tell yourself you're tired. You tell yourself it's the light. You tell yourself there's a rational explanation for everything in this building, and the sooner you finish your rounds, the sooner you can sit at the nurse's station and drink the terrible coffee from the machine on the landing and get through until morning. You tell yourself all of these things. You keep walking. Room 709 is where the feeling starts. Not fear exactly. Not yet. Me something underneath fear. Something that sits in your chest, the way a stone sits at the bottom of a clear lake. You can see it, but reaching it is another matter. 709 has been occupied for 11 months by a woman named Elara Voss, 44 years old. She came in after a stroke. Catastrophic, the file says, which is a medical word for unsurvivable. And yet, here she is. Here she stays. Her breathing is mechanical, the ventilator doing patiently what her body has decided it will no longer do for itself. She has no family listed. The intake form has a line for emergency contact, and in that space someone has written one word, like a door closing. You do your checks. Ventilator cycle, IV drip, blood pressure. You write the numbers on the chart. Everything nominal. Everything the same. You're about to leave when your pen runs out of ink. Small thing. Irritating. Nothing more. You shake it. Press it harder to the page. Nothing. You look around for a spare, and you see it on the bedside table. A pen. Blue. Nothing remarkable. You reach for it. The pen is on her side of the table, and the table is pushed close to the bed. And her hand, Elara Voss's hand, which has not moved in 11 months, which has never once moved during any of your checks. Her hand is resting at the edge of the table, fingers loose, palm down, like she set the pen there herself. You take the pen. Your hand is steady. You are proud of your hand. Mert for being steady. You write the last vitals number on the chart and hang it back on the hook. You walk to the door, and from behind you, beneath the sound of the ventilator, beneath the antiseptic hum of the room, beneath the blood pounding in your own ears, you hear something. Scratching, faint, rhythmic, like a fingernail, tracing patterns on a smooth surface. You turn around. Her hand has not moved, but on the whiteboard above her bed, the one the nursing staff uses for date, shift notes, patient name, the letters of her name, they were written horizontally, the way names are always written. Now they descend, vertically. E, Lel, A, R, A. She was here tonight when you started your shift. You saw her in the elevator on your way up. She smelled like lavender. Sex to eyes were the color of someone who hasn't slept in 6 weeks, but has made peace with it. She nodded at you. You nodded back. Now it's just you and Bernard Cho. You push open the door. The chair by the window is occupied. Your voice is steady. Your visiting hours ended at... The figure turns. It is not June Cho. It has her silhouette, her posture, the curve of her shoulders, the tilt of her head, all of it assembled correctly, like something that has studied her carefully and practiced. But the face, the ventilator stops. One full beat of absolute silence. Then it starts again. The face is Bernard's, not a mask, not a trick of the light. The face of the man in the bed is pace of the thing in the chair. The slack-featured, cheeks half open, the white showing more than the iris, and it is smiling. A slow, a spreading smile that doesn't belong to either of them. Your radio crackles. You spend your nights keeping others safe. That's a beautiful thing. That's a rare thing. But you're tired now. We can see that. You've been tired. You can rest here. Others have. This is not happening. Your phone buzzes. A text. Unknown number. 3 words. Check. Room 701. The 4th photograph. An empty bed. In a room you recognize as this room. The sheets arranged in a shape. A slight depression. A form. Like something has been lying there and recently risen. The 5th photograph. The nurse's station. Empty. The desk lamp on. Your coffee cup. Your specific travel mug. The one you brought from home tonight. Sitting on the desk. You do not look at the 6th photograph. You turn it face down on the windowsill. You leave the room. And in the hallway, you stop, because the hallway has changed. The distance between where you are standing, room 701's door at your back, and the nurse's station, which was 40 feet away, is longer now. You don't mean that metaphorically. The nurse's station is still there. You can see the desk lamp. You can see your coffee mug. But the distance is wrong. And the room numbers, 701, 702, 703, 704. Then 704A, 704B, then 704B extension. Doors you have never seen. Doors that weren't there during your rounds. Pale doors, all identical, all with the small, wire-reinforced windows at eye level. You look through one, a patient, in a bed, breathing. You look through the next, another patient, different face, same breathing. The next, a patient sitting upright in the bed, looking directly at the window, looking directly at you, face slack, eyes open, smiling. That same spreading smile from 714, the one that doesn't belong to anyone living. You step back, your heel catches, and you stumble. You grab the wall, and you look down at what you tripped over. A gurney, unattended, rolling toward you at a pace that is slightly too slow to be momentum, and slightly too directed to be random. On the gurney, sheets, white, neatly arranged, and a pillow, with a slight indentation of a head, like someone has just gotten up, like someone is waiting for you to take their place. Your radio crackles, the radio you turned off, and a whisper moves through it, soft, unhurried. You're almost ready. You understand something now, not all at once, not a revelation that arrives clean and whole. It comes the way things come at 3 a.m. in a quiet building, in pieces, each one settling into place with a soft, horrible click. The quiet floor is not a floor. It never was. The 7th floor is where the hospital sends its impossible cases, the ones that shouldn't have survived long enough to be admitted, the ones the medicine ran out of answers for, and then kept running anyway. And for decades, long before you, long before Sandra, long before any nurse you've met who works up here, something has been present on this floor. Not evil, exactly. That's not the right word. Evil implies it wants something from you. This doesn't want. This simply is. It is patient. It is vast. It lives in the geometry of the floor, the way silence lives in a room after a sound. Not absence, but a presence so complete, it has become its own thing. And it feeds, if you can call it feeding, on proximity, on care, on the particular quality of attention that a person pays when they are responsible for keeping another person alive. The patients feel it, have always felt it. That's why they don't wake up. Not because they can't, but because something on this floor is more interesting than waking. There is something on floor 7 that shows them something that makes the return to ordinary life feel like a loss. A door opens down the hallway, soft, unhurried. Nobody walks through it. The nurses who leave after their first month, they take nothing with them. They shake it off. They are fine. The nurses who stay, Sandra, with her cold coffee and her not quite smile. There was another nurse before Sandra. You've heard the name, but you can never quite hold it. Every time you try to remember it, the name slips sideways. And before that nurse, another. The quiet floor doesn't take people violently. It doesn't need to. It is made of patience. It has nothing but time. It simply offers a thing that tired people, people who spend their shifts in the small hours keeping other lives lit like candles against wind, it offers them rest. Real rest. The kind of rest you have not had in longer than you can remember. The gurney is beside you. You don't remember it rolling closer, but it is beside you, and the sheets are turned back, and the pillow is perfect, and the light above is steady, and the floor is quiet, profoundly, perfectly quiet, the way it only ever gets at the very deepest part of the night. And you are so tired. You have been so tired for so long. Your radio crackles one final time, and the voice that comes through is almost warm, almost gentle, the way a hand on your shoulder is gentle when you didn't know you needed it. You've done enough. You can stop now. We'll watch over you. A long pause, like it is choosing its next words carefully. We are very good at that, here. The elevator is behind you. You know this without turning. You can hear the cable hum, that specific low note, the one you've heard at the start of every shift for 3 months. The doors are open. They have been open for a while, you think, waiting. You could get on. 8th floor, the cafeteria. Bad fluorescent light, bright and institutional and real. Vending machines. A night security guard named Patrick who falls asleep in his chair and has a thermos that smells like good coffee. The real kind, from home. Morning would come. It always does. You waited it out before. But you looked down the hallway. 14 rooms, 14 patients. The woman with no emergency contact. The man with the fishing photograph. The woman whose hand placed a pen on the edge of a table. Someone has to check on them. Someone who tucks the blanket even when they can't feel the cold. Someone who reads the chart in a building that has quietly decided these people are finished and treats them like they're not. You turn off the radio. You take a breath. You pick up your clipboard and you start your rounds again. Behind you, at the end of the hallway, the elevator doors close. That soft, mechanical click of something sealing shut. Somewhere in the floor, not close, not far, a monitor beeps. Steady, patient. The hum of the floor rises around you, almost musical, almost like something settling, something satisfied. And then, your own voice, or something wearing it, moves through the dark of the hallway, like smoke through a crack under a door. Welcome to your shift. A pause that stretches wide and deep. We've been waiting. The floor hums. The monitors keep their time. The doors down the new hallway, 704A, 704B, 704B extension, remain closed. For now. And somewhere behind one of them, something shifts in its bed, turns its head toward the door, and waits for the sound of footsteps getting closer. You are still walking. You will always be walking. This is the 7th floor. This is the quiet floor. And it never ends its shift.